Captain's Log, Supplemental. Commander Williams has brought a crew complaint to my attention. Ensign Smith is requesting we implement the optional code required for the replicators to produce real alcohol instead of just synthahol. The kombucha is experiencing a resurgence in popularity back home on Earth, and Smith seems to think that she's missing out. She told the commander that it would be impossible for her to go, and I quote, full beverage goblin mode without real alcohol content. I, for one, don't have any objections. I could really use a drink right about now.
Welcome back, everybody, to Captain's Log Supplemental. We are a Star Trek rewatch podcast, and on today's episode, we look at 2.4 Dead Stop. This is Season 2, Episode 4 of Enterprise. Before we get into that, though, just want to remind everybody, please rate and review, and of course, share our podcast with all your friends and family. It does a lot for us in spreading it and getting more listeners, so we would appreciate it. As always, I am joined by my good friends Rob.
Hello.
And Stanford.
Hi. Oh, so we do get to say something. There was a long while where I'm like, what's this wee shit? He's just going to be running this whole show himself.
I was getting all the technicals out of the way before I forgot to do it.
Oh, man. Crazy. Before we get too into the weeds, I want to say that this is the episode that will be dropping right after Thanksgiving weekend. So, I thought maybe we could do like a everyone gives me your have to have Thanksgiving food and your I don't want it on my Thanksgiving table food.
All right, have to have probably mac and cheese.
What?
Really?
Whoa, really?
Absolutely.
Is that from your childhood, or is that like a newer thing? I haven't heard of that.
No, this is the southern influences of my wife. So I never had it growing up, but once I started having it with her family, it's like, oh yeah, this is good. We should do this.
Is it like a baked mac and cheese?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
which I know you
okay.
have a personal affliction towards. So
yeah, I don't like it as much. Like, it's fine, but I don't like it as much as non-baked mac and cheese.
As far as don't put it on my plate, oh god, that's tough. I like a lot of different food. I mean, does just saying dry turkey count?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, because which is very common for people who cook turkey. They often overcook it. So dry turkey is definitely
a fucked up turkey. Got it. Yeah.
Yes, a fucked. You say that, but also that's like 80% of turkeys people cook. So.
Yeah, because they don't follow the directions.
All right. What about you, Stanford?
I brought it up. I was going to go last, but I'll go now. The only one I have to have is mashed potatoes. Like, I have to have mashed potatoes. And it's funny because the one year at my stepmom's family, they didn't have mashed potatoes. They had like they had scallop potatoes, which, don't get me wrong, scallop potatoes are fine.
Yeah.
And I've definitely had them in addition to the mashed potatoes at previous Thanksgivings. But my aunt was like, we had scallop potatoes, so we didn't make mashed potatoes. And I was like, that's unacceptable. Do we need, I'm like in college. And I'm like, that's unacceptable. There need to be mashed potatoes here. Like, we don't do Thanksgiving without mashed potatoes. It's the only thing that I have to have. And this is ridiculous. And my aunt, every year after that brought it up, I was supposed to be embarrassed. She's like, okay. And Matthew, we got mashed potatoes just for you. And I'm like, I'm not embarrassed. Fuck you. This is what is required at Thanksgiving. You're welcome for saving the family. So anyways, that's the story why I thought of this topic.
Mm-hmm.
He's angry.
You're not invited to Thanksgiving anymore.
It's funny because it's true. Oh wait, my one that I don't really like, if I have to like a Thanksgiving staple that I just can't stand, it's sweet potato casserole. I like sweet potatoes. I like them mashed. I like them, just baked or whatever. But that marshmallow covered nonsense, don't care for it.
I like sweet potato casserole. Leave off those marshmallows. Do not want. Now, if you want to put some pecans on top, that's good stuff right there.
I don't know. It's the wrong kind of sweet. for me.
Is it even sweet potato casserole without the marshmallows? Also, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I
you
love
like
sweet potato
circus
casserole.
peanuts, Rob. Like who?
Yeah, that's true. This is
Yeah.
both orange and marshmallowy, so fits right in my taste buds. For me, I need stuffing. There has to be stuffing. I love stuffing. My favorite, my one aunt makes a sausage stuffing that's fantastic. Look forward to it every time we have Thanksgiving with them. For the thing that needs to be left off my plate, I don't remember why it happened, but one year at Thanksgiving, we had both turkey and chicken. That is incorrect.
Whoa, I've never had. Why have chicken? Like,
I don't know.
I get it if you have turkey and like ham, because I'm gonna be honest, I could never eat turkey again, and I would be totally fine. It's a whatever meat. Like it doesn't wow me. I just want it to taste like gravy, anyways. But like, it's weird to have turkey and chicken. Like those are so similar.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
I remember the year my uncle started deep frying a turkey at Thanksgiving. That was a life-changing experience.
Oh man, I brine mine, and ever since I started brining mine, no one has complained about dry turkey at my house.
Yeah, brining's the way to go. I also have a friend who smokes a turkey every Thanksgiving, and that's also quite good.
That sounds good.
I don't think I've ever had that, but I have heard of it.
Yeah.
Rob's wife, Kelsey, she makes, and I'm saying that because we have listeners, not because Chris doesn't know who Kelsey is. She makes a pineapple stuffing that is so fucking good.
So good.
It's basically just having pineapple upside down cake on your plate, but like it's stuffing, so it counts as dinner.
What that reminds me, one thing that once again a Southern influence here is what Lauren's family refers to as green salad, which is green. It's definitely not salad.
What's in it?
Well, it's like lime gelatin and like marshmallows and pineapple, and it's like frozen and some other stuff in it.
That ain't Southern, man. That's Northern. That's some Minnesota salad shit right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like Midwest casserole.
It's like
No.
mayonnaise.
See, the difference is there's no mayonnaise in it, so there's that.
Oh.
And I'm kind of weird. Like stuffing is all right. It's not my favorite, but Mariah loves stuffing. And our one friend makes stuffing that's so good that she makes him make it for our Thanksgiving, even though he doesn't come.
Nice.
Oh man.
Oh gosh.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
If you're American.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you Canadians. I guess like a couple weeks ago, right?
They
have
it
a couple weeks before.
Yeah.
Early or like in October or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this week's episode, Dead Stop. It was interesting. So we start out. We are surveying the damage from the confirmed Romulan minefield. They did specify that, so that answers my question from last week.
I'm
ahead.
already like, oh, we're gonna stay with this damage. Like that's awesome.
Right. As I say, this is like the quickest turnaround that wasn't a specifically 2-part episode I've ever seen in this show.
Yeah.
In like Star Trek ever. Now that I think about it, like.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So we apparently they need some tritanium alloy to fix it. Trip's going over things with Archer. It's going to take probably 3 or 4 months to fix, and they can only go warp 2. So if they try to go home, it's like a 10-year journey at this point. Obviously, not ideal. Archer says, "Get the word out. We back down." They sent out a distress call,
which they were like both like, are you sure? Holy shit! Asking for help? What the hell are you thinking? Like, it's like Trip, calm down, man.
Are either of you familiar with the subreddit Shitty Life Pro Tips?
Yeah.
I am not.
That was what I immediately thought of when Archer was like, okay, put out the call for help, but just mention that we only need miter repairs. Like, we don't have to replace an entire section of our hull or anything, you know?
Yeah, and I guess the instinct is like, because if someone knows we're really hurt, they'll come fuck us up, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Yep. So we then... They get this distress call out, and we then cut to a very awkward face from Lieutenant Reed.
What's he doing?
Doing some rehab.
He's doing some physical therapy on his knee.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Try to make me gold.
he is not fucking happy either. He is screaming in pain as Phlox is trying to get him to push against his hand.
Also, Flux is of course making jokes about it.
Yeah. This just confirmed for me producer Mariah's belief about men under 40 getting PT being the worst patients.
Do we think...
under 50,
okay.
sorry.
I was going to say, do we think Reed is under 40?
Why? Because they're a bunch of whiny babies?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That tracks. So, we also learned that Reed still has a Regulan bloodworm in his leg, which is gross.
It'll come out
gross.
on his own.
do not like that at all. No, thank you. We then get cut to Starfleet's goodest boy and Archer.
It
complaining
came back.
about a squeak.
It came back.
It did.
Rob said in episode 2 of this show, or in episode 3, I guess, like, I wonder if that squeaky noise ever comes back, and it motherfucking came back.
Oh, I had totally forgotten about that.
Because it was
there
like
were
the
quite a few
cold open.
callbacks.
Yeah, yeah. It was like a clip show, but better.
So he's complaining about the squeaky floor, and then we finally get a response to the distress call with Tellarite Freighter. The signal's pretty bad though. They're trying to communicate, not really getting through any understandable message. So they eventually just end up sending them coordinates to they assume a repair station, I guess.
I like how T'Pol's like, the Tellarites are usually pretty trustworthy, although they can be kind of assholes. And like the entire interaction is basically like, from what I could tell from the broken up comms, it's like, hi, you say you need help? Yes, we need help. Do you think you could stop by and help us fix something? Sorry, we're busy, but you know about this repair station, right? What repair station? Here, I'll give you the coordinates. Totally friendly, helpful interaction. Like no notes whatsoever.
I mean, although the way Tellarites are pictured in other episodes, they are kind of jerks.
That's racist.
I didn't say they were. I said that's how they're portrayed in Star Trek.
Unlike the Tellarites in real life.
Yeah, they're totally cool people. So anyway, Archer's they set course, and we immediately cut to them arriving, and they're trying to sorry, totally lost my train of thought. They start to hail the shipyard and try to make contact with them, say hi, all that initial greeting nonsense. Not getting anything back. They start to say, hey, it sounds like there's some stuff we might be able to salvage there. We're picking up some stuff on sensors, and then they get scanned.
Big flash of light.
Can I ask, before we go past this, the writers, Archer's bit was, I think it's worth a look, and then they show up at this space station that looks like a set of binoculars.
It does.
Do you think that was intentional?
Oh.
Ooh, that'd be funny if it was.
That would be well done if it was.
I feel like that's giving the show too much credit, so I'm going to say that was not on purpose.
Especially since Tripp's next line is staggered that it's reconfiguring to fit us when all it is just kind of like opening a little bit. It's all hard.
Whenever it's reconfiguring. Shut up.
Whenever Tripp opens a door, he's like, I'm reconfiguring this door to get through. Like, what are we doing here, Tripp?
They, as you said, they also scanned the station, said it was like minus like 100 some degrees, and
yes, the atmosphere was liquid
helium gas.
Yeah.
So they, as you said, after the scan, the shipyard starts reconfiguring itself, and all of a sudden there's a breathable atmosphere inside, and it'll fit the Enterprise. Great. So they decide to cruise on in, even though Archer's a whiny bitch baby and says they need to work on their hospitality.
I mean I feel Archer's
like
not entirely wrong here.
I feel like they're being pretty hospitable by totally changing how their station is laid out and stuff. I mean, that's pretty hospitable.
Yeah, but the station could have, in Archer's defense, the station could have sent out, because it's got some sort of automated systems, the station could have sent out some kind of automated message that was like, hi, welcome to this and this station. Here's how this works. Or even like...
I just want to point out, for the first time ever, Archer is initially suspicious of an alien species, and it figures it's the only one that he never even meets.
It's true.
That's fair.
That's true.
That's fair.
Although they're not suspicious enough, because when they actually get on board the alien station, none of them are carrying sidearms.
Huh.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just like, well, this is weird. Here we go. And they just wander onto it without ever like any kind of precautions whatsoever.
Yep. Archer, Paul, and Trip board the ship. It's very white. It is very white. This is not an episode I'd want to watch in the dark because it would blind me. There are helpful lights for guidance, though. I mean, they kind of point them right to the little command center there where they start talking about, or start talking to the computer there. They got to read out of the damage on Enterprise. They even have where Trip scratched the Enterprise ship when they bumped it with the inspection pod in the very first episode.
Archer's like, you told me you repainted that, and Trip's like, well, I was getting around to it.
Getting to it.
It's more callbacks.
Trip's the best. Yeah, that is another callback.
It is another callback, yeah. The computer ends up displaying some options for payment, which seem very reasonable, as well as a
reasonable to Archer.
Yeah. Which, I mean, sure, I guess. They also mentioned that there's a 32-hour turnaround time. Trip says, I think he says it would take the boys back at Jupiter 3 months to fix it or something like that, or 3 days or something like that. A much longer time.
Yeah.
Archer says, all right, we'll give them some warp plasma, and the repair station says, make sure you're not in the areas we're repairing.
Yeah, 200 liters of warp plasma, which, first of all, I have a soda idea. But,
warp plasma.
I still don't understand this whole bottling warp plasma thing, because, warp plasma is just, the byproduct of the antimatter reaction, right?
But it's science soundies.
Why are we bottling it?
Because reasons. Shh.
And Trip's like, I think we'll be able to spare that much. It's like, your engine literally makes more. That's what it does. It makes that stuff.
Maybe they use it as a lubricant.
That is a high fucking energy lubricant.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they finally accept it, and the station kind of unbuckles and starts using those welding arms, and it reminds me that we've been playing Space Engineers too much lately.
Oh, man, I have a note here that says that we need to build one of these in Space Engineers.
So there's the shipyard says, all right, the recreation's available now, and it opens up, and it's got a nice little waiting room. And
it's like at the car wash where you can get some peach rings.
That's exactly what was my thought, yeah. I'm like, oh gosh.
Air fresheners up on one wall for purchase.
Mm-hmm.
They go in and
there's a bunch of birthday cards.
They find the matter replicator, and they don't get peach rings, but Trip does get some pan-fried catfish, which, by the way, is his favorite food, remember?
Is his favorite, yep.
He does say it's not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Well, considering it was just magicked out of thin air.
Yeah. They mentioned, I thought this was weird, that there's just, fish genomes stored on the Enterprise's databanks, apparently. Why, though? Why do we have that information on the Enterprise?
Shut up. That's why. I don't know. That's the kind of information that, maybe there's just a repository. Data has got to be so cheap by the year 22, whatever, that,
maybe.
They just have the collected repository of human knowledge from, everything up to 20 years ago or whatever.
Just the entire internet on the Enterprise.
Yeah, they have all of Netflix. That's why they watch just that one old movie.
I mean, it might be in chef's, recipe list or something.
Maybe.
The genome. Yeah, when I make catfish here at home, I definitely study the catfish's genome to make sure I'm preparing it right.
Mm-hmm. It's a case he's got to program something with the protein resequencer.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah. By the way, I just want to point out they must have had a nice little CG budget for this episode. There was some CG sequences in this, and I'm like, all right.
They blew the entire season's budget.
I like how Archer's they scanned our database. It would have been nice if they asked, what is this place run by Mark Zuckerberg? Why are they fucking stealing all their goddamn data?
Oh man. So anyway, we go through and we see the ship getting fixed. We even see a little robot dude fixing Reed's leg.
Do you think if they don't pay, the station will take a club to Malcolm's knee?
Break his legs. I had the same thought too. They apparently did a pretty bang up job. Phlox was very impressed. He said he wanted one too. So, and even fixed the squeak in the floor, so it won't be coming back again. Boo.
No.
Archer. Anyway, Archer's talking to Paul, I think in his room or whatever, and it talks about how he's just very suspicious of how cheap it was for the repairs, and he's just being super suspicious.
And like, I'm suspicious too, but mostly because it's a TV show.
Sure. I mean, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, with very clear foreshadowing happening.
Yeah. We did then get in our requisite mess hall scene where we were eating. But this time it's in the repair station. It's not in the Enterprise this time. So slight shift in scenery, right? Yeah, very nice. We got the little repairs happening in the background.
It looks like it looks like the cafeteria at my old job. Like those aluminum chairs and...
Yeah. Yep. So Trip and Reed are having a little chat while they're eating, which I think this goes for our bingo, the Trip and Reed friendship scene, right?
That Trip has the worst idea here, and he manages to convince Reed to do it. So I don't know what could do that other than a strong bromance.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. Trip ran a scan and wants to see the supercomputer, or what he assumes is the supercomputer of the station. Reed says something dismissal, but then immediately goes and does it.
Trip's reasoning here is complete nonsense too, because he's like, we have the most advanced computer that we can come up with, and it takes up 3 decks. So the computer here must be huge to be able to do all this. And like, first of all, the computer doesn't do all that much. But second of all, like, they're obviously more advanced than you. You don't think their computers might be a little smaller?
Right.
But anyway, Trip says, I don't see no signs. I'm getting in them ducks.
That's fair. It is nice the station just uses a standard 3M like HVAC filter.
We get a little in-between scene where, or did it? I forget. Hold on. Sorry. I got lost in my notes here. Oh, that's right. We get an in-between scene where Travis receives a mystery call from Archer, says, come down to the launch bay.
Shirtless Travis. So unexpected, but not unwelcome.
Yeah, he is fit.
Yeah,
Travis
he is surprisingly jacked underneath that boyish head of his. It looks like his head got de-aged over this like muscular super body.
Like in that Lower Decks episode.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
So yeah, Archer, quote unquote Archer, calls Travis down to the launch bay without reason. Travis is like, aren't they repairing that right now? I thought we were supposed to go there. And quote unquote Archer says, no, it's fine. Come on. Not suspicious at all. Trip and Reed then get beamed back onto Enterprise when they get too far along the little HVAC duct, right onto the bridge, and we get the disapproving stare of T'Pol. Oh, hey, is this T'Pol's the only adult in the room moment?
Oh man, I don't know.
She wasn't really a part of the conversation or decision. I would say no.
Yeah, no. She's just no. That doesn't
stared disapprovingly.
Count. She's just being judgy. Yeah,
that's fair. All right. We cut to Travis, who finds some damage on a panel on launch bay and looks at it strangely. That's all the scene we got from Travis. We then cut to Archer reprimanding Trip and Reed and confining them to quarters.
Archer is completely correct here. Like, those two are fucking idiots.
Yes, absolutely. But he is also curious about what they saw, which was basically nothing. We then immediately cut to Travis dead in the quote-unquote Travis dead in the launch bay. We don't know how. Dead. We don't know what happened. Yeah,
just straight up dead. Like, he's fucking dead. It sucks to be him.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't Archer who called him, because he seems very confused as to why he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Archer goes to the repair yard to inquire about the accident. The computer...
He's just dealing with this computer like someone dealing with an automated phone system. He's just gotta shout representative over and over again.
Yeah, this is the part of the episode. This is the part of the episode when I realized the writer room got together and decided we're just going to explore the horrors of phone tree menus.
Representative.
Come on, not recognized.
Ah, fuck.
Unsurprisingly, the computer is not super helpful. And then, roar, Archer angry, and he punches it. We get the fun view from the computer being punched, which was fun.
And then the computer's like, if you damage me, I'm going to take it out of your ass. Archer's like, fine, whatever. And he storms off.
Yep. We then join Phlox in the med bay, who's conducting his autopsies, dictating his notes when Hoshi happens to wander by, and she's wanting to say goodbye to Travis. She tells a lovely little story about a practical joke that Travis played on her.
This was probably the worst character development that's ever been exercised on this show, because
It was bad.
And not that like it's bad for him to have been a practical jokester. It's just that was literally never mentioned until this very moment after he's already dead.
And I'm pretty sure never mentioned again.
I thought this was going to be another one of his practical jokes, and my first question was, "What practical jokes? What?"
Right? Yeah. Apparently, he made her talk to strawberry gelatin, which sure.
I mean, that's a good joke.
I mean, it's a
pull
good
the
joke.
Tom
It's a
officer.
good practical joke. I got to give Travis credit. Yeah.
And is it shortly after this that Phlox realizes there's something strange in the readings on Travis's body?
I didn't know what was going to happen, so I went, "Zombie Travis, look out!" But he didn't get over it.
We cut to Archer talking to Reed, and apparently Reed was going through like comm logs and stuff. He didn't see Travis ever use the comms, which is of course suspicious since we saw Travis use the comms. Phlox calls Archer down to the med bay and tells him it's not actually Travis. He says he figured out because there's some microbes left over from a vaccination that he did earlier that would live post-mortem for a long time and thrive on the energy that supposedly killed Travis. And they verify that it is just a copy of Travis, not actually Travis. Archer then begins to kind of formulate a plan and tells Trip to, take his time with getting that payment together for the repairs. We then get a lovely scene with Trip trying to stall, I guess, the computer by haggling with it.
He didn't even like haggling. Oh, was he yelling?
I mean, he definitely raised his voice.
Yeah.
I don't think he
wasn't
yelling
actually
Trip.
angry. It was like acting angry, right? Because he was just pretending.
I think it still counts, though.
I think I know it was pretty good though, because he's like, "I'm unsatisfied. You should get." He's basically yelling representative at the thing now.
Yeah.
Yes, and he also quotes the worst and most misquoted thing in American consumer culture, which is the customer is always right.
The customer is always right. What a fucking awful thing.
Yes, it's not even like where like the whole part of that is like the customer is always right when it like comes to demand or something like that, not like every fucking stupid thing they want.
In matters of taste.
Is that what it is? Yeah, it matters of taste.
No. That means that if I have a certain haircut, I can ask for the manager and get whatever I want. That's what that's saying.
That is my taste. It is. I have a taste for that.
Thank you, Kevin.
Taste for getting my way.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the part where like T'Pol and Archer and Reed are up in the vents while Trip is stalling, right?
Right.
And Reed's like, "That's about where I teleported," and so like he goes up and the station teleports him again. and Archer and T'Pol are just kind of like studying it with their tricorders, like, what just happened? And then I guess they try to like hack it or something, and T'Pol is clearly just done with this control panel's shit because she just fucking shoots it.
Yeah. From then on, the only way doors are opened are by phaser.
Yes, phasers. Yeah, Jesus Christ, every goddamn door is opened by a phaser.
They get in kind of that the I guess not quarantine, but whatever area they were prohibited from entering before, and it's pretty gross. There's a bunch of just like crap all over the place, and some bunch of bodies just on shelves.
One of them is a Klingon. I want to see that visit to this station.
I also want to see that visit.
I wonder how many computer screens they broke.
Right.
Yeah. The station. Go ahead.
No, I agree with Rob. I want to know how much how many liters of Klingon warp plasma they owed at the end on their tab.
Oh gosh. Yep. So the station, alarm starts going off and says they need to vacate or their ship will be compromised. They then find Travis and oh shit, that's a lot of blood. Don't pull those out. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I think they were. Those things looked like they were going into him, so I don't know what they were. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that was like a dialyzer or something.
It looked like it looked like transmission fluid. So
yeah, it was rough. It was like that's far too many liquids to be coming out of the tube. You should not have taken that out.
It's like those tubes should not be gushing at that velocity into a person's arm. Like
the station starts to then kind of, I guess, take over Enterprise by, I guess taking over its computer or whatever. And then
this is where in my notes I say using the hell out of those phase pistols this episode.
I was going to say time to shoot open some more doors. They make it back to the ship, but they don't seem to have any control. So Malcolm gets to blow something up.
I like how Trip. Oh, Malcolm does get to blow something up. Shit. I don't even know if I have that one on my card. My card is worthless. I like how Trip is like, they're like, are the thrusters working? And Trip's like I'm assuming there are readings that are like they're offline, but Trip's like, I'll just fire them up and see what fucking happens. Let's fuck them readings. Like he just dials the fuckers up like halfway and is like, nah, they're not working.
Yep. So apparently blowing it up will do the trick. Although it takes a minute for the
does it take two missiles?
3,000 degrees.
It does.
So the missiles suck?
Missiles still suck, yeah. I was going to say I had that one as well. Took 2 missiles to blow up that spindly little arm.
Oh my god, it's the worst little arm.
So they finally get away. The station explodes completely. Hurrah. Travis seems to be okay. We get the information the brain was basically, or that the station was basically using his brain as a calculator, because the cerebral cortex is the most advanced calculator.
It's the Matrix.
Yep.
Sure.
What? Yeah.
Well, the Matrix was supposedly the battery thing, but I guess like apparently, and this is, I don't know how apocryphal this is, but the rumor was that like this was the original idea behind the Matrix, was that they were using brains as like computational power, but like test audiences didn't understand what the fuck they were talking about, so they're like, they're just batteries, fuck it. Which is stupid because a human body cannot generate more energy than it consumes. That's the law.
We also do go ahead and waive the murdering of every other person that was in that room by saying they were damaged irreversibly anyway. It was fine.
But they also said the word most in that sentence, so most of them were damaged beyond repair. Okay,
well, now they're really damaged beyond repair.
Now they're real fucked up.
Archer extends his invitation to Travis to join him for breakfast. And then we get a fun, mysterious shot of the arms repairing the station. But also, I can tell you for a fact, we never see the station again. So why are we doing this?
Actually, so why we are doing this, I think, plays into my rating of this episode.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, we're there. Episode's over.
Sure.
So
I gave this episode a 4 out of 5. It is a good episode, and I think I know why. This is all conjecture. I don't know if this is true, but I suspect that this episode was written by an actual science fiction author because it felt like a science fiction short story the whole way through.
Interesting.
But this could be in anything.
It could, yeah. And I could totally see this coming from an actual science fiction author. I also gave this a 4 out of 5. I'm honestly kind of surprised. I figured you guys would score it lower.
I'm a 3 for me. While I enjoyed it, it wasn't like particularly good for me for whatever reason. But I thought it was decent.
It's a nice tight narrative. It tells a complete little story. It does so in a way that like the characters are involved without being mission critical, so like it actually happens to them instead of just like, and that's I think why the narrative worked, because they weren't driving the narrative was happening and they were experiencing it, and that's a good way to do like in-universe short stories like this, and I think it was surprisingly well done here, which is why I suspect, actually I'm going to look that up right now. I'm curious who wrote that episode, because I suspect it's not one of the standard Star Trek Enterprise people.
Yeah, I was really happy that, well, first of all, they included a whole bunch of callbacks, like especially when they got into the whole scene where they watched Enterprise get evaluated for damage, and they had to call back to that first episode with Trip bumping the paint off with the shuttle. But I was also pleased, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, when they were up in the air ducts, they didn't make T'Pol take the lead.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, Reed was the sacrificial transport lamb. Did you find out who the writer was?
Yeah, I guess they just a broken clock is right twice a day. These are just staff writers. Interesting. I don't know. It maybe I wonder if it was based on a
They
short
can have
story.
good ideas occasionally.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, maybe
have...
it was just a straight up, like, just a good idea they had. That just it was surprising.
This probably aired just a couple years after The Matrix came out.
What? No, The Matrix was out in like 98, 99?
Yeah, Matrix was late 90s.
Yeah,
this is
isn't this
like-
early 2000s?
2002? This is like 4 years.
And? That's not a lot of time.
But also, like,
I mean, to my kids, that's like half their life right now.
this is also
my God.
not about, like, this isn't really Matrixy at all, really, you know? Like,
Right.
you know, that one little thing is maybe kind of Matrixy, but, like,
You're kind of
Brandon
Matrixy.
conceived this episodes while developing Minefield. The usual thing to do would be the ship is all repaired and everything's back to normal next week. Yep. But Brandon and I felt like we really had to be important that the ship had been damaged, which I admit is a good thing. So, yeah, I don't know how they managed to do that, but like it's a good episode. It's a good tight little episode.
Yep. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not bad. All right. Well, with that, we will take a little break, and when we come back, we will get into our deep dive. Welcome back, everybody. All right, so for this week's deep dive, I wanted to talk about a little bit about the history of some various shipyards within the Star Trek universe. And this is mostly going to be Starfleet stuff, because really that's what we get information on. So just going to dive right in. The first one I wanted to talk about is probably the one that's referenced most throughout the Star Trek series, which is the Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards, also known as the Utopia Planitia Shipyards.
Or when I say it, the Planitia Utopia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Yep. They are obviously one of the larger starship construction yards. And it is referenced in a number of areas. The Galaxy class starship development project was mostly done and constructed there. We get a lot of references to that in the Next Generation episode Booby Trap, which also known as Incel Geordi episode. Then Commander Benjamin Sisko was assigned to Utopia Planitia sometime after the Battle of Wolf 359 for several years, where he worked on the design and flight tests of the USS Defiant.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but Utopia Planitia, did I say that right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. That's on Mars, right?
Mars, correct, yes.
Right.
Well,
But
on
like, why is it
and around
also
Mars.
in space?
Well, that's where they build the ships.
But then shouldn't it just be called the Mars Shipyards? Why is it Utopia Planitia? Like, that's a specific landmark on Mars.
Because there is facilities on planet too, I guess.
Yeah, maybe they build some of the components on planet and then lift them up into the atmosphere for final assembly, or out of the atmosphere for final assembly.
That seems like a lot of extra fuel spent on dealing with gravity wells.
I mean, they don't need to worry about fuel anymore.
Yeah, well. By the way, the USS Voyager also underwent final construction phases at Utopia Planitia. That is also when Janeway first visited the ship, referenced in the Voyager show Relativity. There is also a alternate quantum reality visited by Worf.
Whoa!
where the Cardassians were using an Argus array to spy on several Starfleet's most important shipyards and design complexes, including Utopia Planitia, which is from another Next Generation episode, Parallels.
Wait, Worf was just in a quantum reality?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought the Romulans had like tapped into a quantum reality so they could spy, and I'm like, that's kind of fucking
cool.
Clever, actually. That's a pretty good job. That's some good scheming.
In another alternate timeline, the death of Gabriel Bell in 2024, so next year, led to the Utopia Planitia fleet yards being erased from history, and that was in the DS9 Past Tense Part 1 episode.
Rip Gabriel Bell. I'm looking forward to his death day. What day? We need to find out what day that is, and we'll have a cake.
We do, yeah. A farewell cake, I guess.
Future farewell fondly.
But it's also referenced and referred to in a number of other episodes briefly. A lot of Voyager episodes, actually, several Voyager episodes did. When it seemed possible Voyager would be returning home in 2377 with the help of Reginald Barclay, he asked Seven of Nine what she would do when they returned, and she said she'd immediately get to work on repairs to Voyager. But Barclay told her that there were people at Utopia Planitia to do the repairs, and that she should celebrate. Which I always thought was a fun crossover episode between Voyager and Next Generation. Also completely random.
Barclay shows up a lot.
His character is like a good actor.
Yeah, well, yes, the actor himself is actually a good actor, yeah.
So he's fun. Moving on from Utopia Planitia, there's also McKinley Station, which is also referred to as Earth Station McKinley, which was a space dock above Earth.
Is that big one that the ships go inside?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a big claw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Sure. It's not the big mushroom?
No, that's... What is that one called? Space Base 1 or something?
Oh, yeah. Something like Space Dock 1 or something. I don't know.
Starbase 1 or whatever? Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. The USS Enterprise D was transferred to the station from Utopia Planitia shortly after its launch in 2364, before it departed for Farpoint Station, which is, of course, the first episode of Next Generation. In 2367, the Enterprise D underwent refits at the station as well, and this was after suffering damage from the Borg incursion. Oh, yes. In Voyager in 2373, when the Doctor was suffering from memory fragmentation, the recreation of Dr. Louis Zimmerman, of course the Doctor's creator, in Jupiter Station suggested an expansion of the Doctor's memory circuits at McKinley Station. Of course, this was not possible as Voyager was still stranded at the Delta Quadrant at the time. Voyager received pictures of Earth from McKinley Station, courtesy of a transmission set up by one Lieutenant Reginald Barclay. In their in the Voyager episode Author.
Author. That's a good episode.
Mm-hmm. The next one I wanted to talk about was the San Francisco Fleet Yards, which was another shipyard in Earth's orbit. It did have... This is another one of those ones where it had like planet-side offices as well. Of course, they were in San Francisco. Once again, I don't know the purpose of this Stanford, but there you go. The USS Franklin was launched from the San Francisco Fleet Yards, as well as the Shenzhou from Discovery was launched from there as well. Yeah. And of course, the USS Enterprise. No, as Scotty puts it in a Next Generation episode, no bloody A, B, or C. Just the original USS Enterprise was launched from the San Francisco Fleet Yards in 2245.
So, is this a good time to go on my diatribe about the A, B, C, and D thing?
Why not?
I was talking to my dad about this, and so it's okay. So the Enterprise is NCC 17001, or just 1701? 1701, right? Do you know what that means, the NCC 1701?
Nope.
Okay.
Newly commissioned craft.
Weirdly, not even a little bit close, no. The NCC stands for Naval Construction Contract. It is a contract number that is assigned to a ship that is that is constructed under that contract. So basically, when you requisition a bunch of people and materials and stuff to make a ship, that's all organized under one single number. And in this case, for the Enterprise, is NCC 1701. Okay, when you make a new ship, you have a new number. All right, that's how numbers work. Now, the NCC 1701 and the NCC 1701A are actually the same ship. It is a refit. Okay, so they took the NCC 1701. That's the one with like the spinny shit from the TOS.
Uh-huh.
And then they changed a few things about it, but for the most part, the ship is the same. Okay, they got some kind of newer nacelles. They put a new code paint on it, got some new phasers or whatever, but it's the same boat. But it was enough of a refit that they slapped a new letter on it, okay? That's not true for any other fucking Enterprise, and there's no goddamn reason why they should have the same naval contract number.
No, don't you remember? I think it was in Strange New Worlds. They talked about how like bits of old ships are included in the new ones as part of the construction. And at that point, we're just playing the Ship of Theseus game.
That's fine. But that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But what was the number of the Enterprise from this show that was that piece of which was in that ship? It was the NX-01.
That's true, yeah.
So, like, it's okay to have more than one Enterprise, because actually, the ships aren't named USS Enterprise B, USS Enterprise C. They're just USS Enterprise. All of the Enterprise ships are just called USS Enterprise. The lettering is only after the naval contract number. But, like, that's not how that works.
Maybe the naval yards are just really proud that they were a part of the project, and they just kept it.
But that's not how requisitions work.
You don't know. You're not in Star Trek.
Because, like, and as my dad pointed out, like, these are, like, it was based on a real concept, which is, like, this is what we do with actual ships today, is they have, like numbers and designations and stuff that don't change. That's, you know, the ship's identity. Think of it like a car's VIN number. You know, your VIN number is for your car. If you went and got, you know, a brand new updated version of your car, it's going to have a different fucking VIN number. And then that makes it even less fucking sense when you think about the fact that the Titan, which has a separate contract number, had their contract number changed to 1701J or whatever the fuck. God damn it.
Look, we just need to name stuff Enterprise, and we want
That's
all
fine.
the things.
Name it
that are part of
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
I don't care. But like, you can't change. Like the fucking NCC number on the Titan is going to be inscribed on every single piece of equipment that the Titan got built with. So does someone have to go back through? Is that what the fucking where's that Lower Decks episode where they have to go back through and change the NCC number on every single panel on the fucking Titan? Jesus Christ.
This is like when they remake a beloved series of like comic book movies and they just want to relaunch the whole series again because they ran out of good ideas. That's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, I know that's what's happening, but it's fucking annoying. Like of all the bad ideas that came out of Picard, recommissioning the Titan as the Enterprise and changing its number was like the worst of them, which is really impressive because they also had a thing where only old people could save the day. So like, it's not a good show.
That was so brutally apparent that they were appealing to the fucking fans of the old shows. Like it was painful.
So what you're saying is Picard is the space cowboys of Star Trek?
Yeah, but it doesn't even have fucking what's his face? He's got 3 names. What the fuck? Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay, so back to the San Francisco Fleet Yards, where your beloved USS Enterprise was commissioned. The USS Discovery was also launched from the San Francisco Fleet Yards sometime before 2256. There wasn't exact dates there. Also, the fictional starship USS Stamets, which was, of course, created by Paul Stamets during his time in the Mushroom Network, the Mycelial Network, was also launched from those yards, which is like a weird detail to include, by the way, for a fictional starship. So
unlike the real starships that we're talking about,
the real starships. we're fictional in Inception now. So those are kind of the main ones. There was a couple other ones that I thought were worth mentioning as well. The 40 Eridani, while we're on the topic of Picard, actually, the 40 Eridani A Starfleet construction yards were referenced in Picard after the attack on Mars in 2385. Picard and Raffi proposed that Starfleet use mothball ships from Eridani A and Beta Taurus to maintain the evacuation of the Romulans from the Romulan supernova, which was, summarily declined. There was also Starbase 234 in the Beta Quadrant. In here, following the outbreak of the Civil War in the Klingon Empire in 2367, Picard retreated to that facility from Kronos, where he successfully persuaded the Admiral to launch a blockade force from the starbase to the Klingon-Romulan border to prevent Romulan forces covertly supplying the House of Duras.
Did you call it Kronos?
Kronos?
It's Kronos.
It's not spelled Kronos.
I know. And that's why actually in the Kelvin timeline, they renamed it Kronos because it's spelled like it sounds. But it is pronounced Kronos. It's one of those weird, someone thought it was funny. Or thought it was a clever idea.
See, I read the word and I thought, did I just hear this wrong this whole time?
No, it is pronounced Kronos. It is spelled with a Q, except in the Kelvin timeline, it is spelled with a K.
That is funny. Picard's task force was formed by commandeering all the ships at the base of Shipyard, along with the ships within 1 day's travel of the starbase. The Enterprise D was also recalled to that starbase from a terraforming mission to Doraf 1 by Fleet Admiral Brackett on a sensitive matter, the disappearance of one Ambassador Spock, and his subsequent discovery on Romulus. Which those were fun episodes, and I don't know if you guys recall those ones, but I thought that was an interesting storyline. With
I don't remember that at all.
Oh yeah. They were good ones. Finally, I wanted to mention the Riverside Shipyard, which is, as we were speaking about the Kelvin timelines from those, it was the ground-based Starfleet shipyard located in Riverside, Iowa. The Riverside construction zone was under the SFC Division, United Federations of Planets, Section 47.
Is that the one we see in the recent Star Trek movies? Okay.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's the one where he pulls up next to it on his motorcycle.
Yeah.
Doing a Tom Cruise, exactly. A Tom Cruise from a Top Gun.
Mm-hmm. So that there is a number of other, shipyards and whatnot mentioned throughout Star Trek, of course, but most of those are not major and really not worth getting too much into. So, since we had our nice, fun shipyard episode, repair yard, whatever you want to call it, episode, I figured it was a good time to dig into some shipyard Star Trek history.
Awesome. Well, nicely done.
Well,
when we get back, I believe Stanford has some fun potpourri for us.
Welcome back. So today for Potpourri, I want to do something a little different than what we've done in the past. Just kind of feel it out, see how it goes. I want to play an improv game with you two.
All right.
So the name of this game is Away Mission, okay? And it is based on a game called I'm Going on a Trip. So here's how the game works. Someone is going to start with a letter, let's say A. And then that person is going to say, I'm going on an away mission, and I'm bringing something from Star Trek that starts with A. Okay? or something away mission relevant if it's not specifically from Star Trek, is also fine. But try to keep it Star Trekky. But the next person will then say, "I'm going on an away mission," and they will have to say that thing and something that starts with the next letter. For example, I'm going on an away mission and I'm taking an apple. Well, I'm going on an away mission and I'm taking an apple and a banana. Well, I'm going on an away mission and I'm taking an apple, a banana, and a cantaloupe. And we continue going until we either get to the first letter again or someone sucks.
Oh, someone sucking is definitely going to come first here.
100%. I don't know. After that geography game, I was pretty bad at it. So, if our lovely producer could give us a letter and tell us who should start. This is where she didn't realize that she was going to be involved.
Yeah, I got that impression.
Yeah, she doesn't. She didn't even realize I was talking to her.
What?
We need a letter and who should start the game.
Jay and Rob.
Oh, God.
And then we'll just go down the Discord list, so I'll go next and then Chris.
Okay, I'm going on an away mission, and I'm bringing Jadzia Dax.
Wait, would you say...
Start out this away mission, right?
Am I going next or are you? I didn't hear you.
I'll go next. I'm going on an away mission, and I'm taking Jadzia Dax and a kiloton yield torpedo.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
Shit. Fuck. I was not prepared to improv. I'm going on an away mission, and I'm taking Jadzia Dax and fuck, I already forgot what you said. A kiloton yield warhead or something? Was that it?
Torpedo. Yeah.
Torpedo. Okay. And landing gear.
Okay.
All right. So M. I'm going on an away mission, and I'm bringing Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, and why can't I think of anything that starts with an M? A Maquis soldier. I don't know.
Just bringing your crew.
That's good. I'm going on a away mission. I'm taking Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield for torpedo, a landing gear, a Maquis soldier, and Neelix.
Jesus. I'm going on a away mission. I'm taking Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, a Maquis soldier, Neelix, and Odo.
We're just expanding the crew here. Okay, I'm going on an away mission, and I'm bringing Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, a Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, and a phaser.
I'm going on an away mission. You better not be writing that down. I hear you typing.
Hear him typing.
You're cheating.
I'm not cheating.
Uh-huh.
I'm going on a away mission. I'm taking Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, a landing gear, a Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, a phaser, and Q.
Oh God, that's going to be a terrible away mission.
Or the best.
Yeah, well, I'm going on a away mission. I'm taking Jadzia Dax, kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, a phaser, Q, and red shirts.
I'm going on an away mission, and I'm bringing Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, a Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, a phaser, Q, red shirts, and a shuttlecraft.
Okay, I'm going on a wave. I'm taking Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, phaser, Q, red shirts, a shuttlecraft, and Tuvok.
You're bringing the Voyager crew, and then we're bringing the fucking DS9 crew.
DS9 crew.
All right, Jesus Christ. I am going on a away mission, and I am bringing Jadzia Dax, kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, phaser, Q, red shirts, shuttlecraft, Tuvok, and the USS Enterprise.
That's not correct.
What did he miss?
What'd I miss?
Oh, you had no. Never mind. Okay.
TUV. Oh, sorry, Rob.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
using the American alphabet.
Yeah,
I don't know which
yeah. All right, I'm going on an away mission, and I'm bringing Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear. Oh my god, my brain is already a Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, a phaser, Q, red shirts, a shuttlecraft, Tuvok, the USS Enterprise, and the Vulcan High Command.
Whoa, Jesus. All right. I'm going on a away mission, and I'm taking Jadzia Dax, kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, phaser, Q, red shirts, shuttlecraft, Tuvok, the USS Enterprise, the Vulcan High Command, and a warbird.
All right. I am going on an away mission, and I am bringing Jadzia Dex, kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, phaser, hold on, Q, red shirts, shuttlecraft, Tuvok, USS Enterprise, Vulcan High Command, a warbird, and a Zindi soldier.
Oh, Zindi, that's a good X. Okay.
But
I'm
Rob was going to
on an
say
away
X-ray
mission.
fish.
Yeah, I had no idea where you were going to go with that one. I'm going on an away mission. I'm bringing Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, a Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, phaser, Q, red shirts, shuttlecraft, Tuvok, the USS Enterprise, Vulcan High Command, a warbird, a Zindi
Soldier.
soldier. Oh, thank you. And Yar.
Yar Kamatasha.
Yes.
All right. I'm going on an away mission, and I'm taking with me Jadzia Dax, kiloton yield torpedo, a landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, phaser, Q, red shirt, shuttlecraft, Tuvok, USS Enterprise, the Vulcan High Command, a warbird, a Zindi soldier, Yar Kamatasha, and Zephram Cochrane. Boom.
Ah.
Nice.
God damn it. Oh, okay. I'm going on a away mission, and I am bringing Jadzia Dex, kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, phaser, Q, red shirt, shuttlecraft, Tuvok, USS Enterprise, Vulcan High Command, warbird, Zindi soldier, Yar Kamatasha, Zephram Cochrane, and Admiral Forrest.
Ugh.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm going to say Forrester. I know I'm going to fucking say Forrester.
I'm going on an away mission, and I'm bringing Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, a phaser, Q, red shirts, shuttlecraft, Tuvok, the USS Enterprise, Vulcan High Command, a warbird, Zindi soldier, Yar Kamatasha, Zephram Cochrane, Admiral Forrest, and a Borg sphere.
Not a cube.
All right.
A sphere.
Not a cube, sphere. All right, I'm going on a away mission. I'm bringing with me Jadzia Dax, a kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, a phaser, Q, red shirts, shuttlecraft, Tuvok, the USS Enterprise, the Vulcan High Command, a warbird, Zindi soldier, Yar Kamatasha, Zephram Cochrane, Admiral Forrest, a Borg sphere, and a cat owned by Data. A cat named Spot. We'll go with that.
Cat name spot. Okay. I'm going on a away mission, and I'm bringing Jadzia Dax, kiloton yield torpedo, landing gear, Maquis soldier, Neelix, Odo, phaser, Q, red shirts, shuttlecraft, Tuvok, Vulcan High Command.
Oh,
Warbird.
stop! There it is.
Oh, did I skip one?
You forgot USS Enterprise.
Ah, that was yours.
Ah, it was yours too.
Well, fuck this game anyway. I hate it.
Oh, we did a pretty good run there, though.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We almost made it around again.
Almost.
I was going to say Data, too. I had it all planned out.
Oh, yeah. What were you typing?
Oh, I was responding to a message.
Oh.
Cheater.
Yeah, you're a cheater. That message was to Yar Kamatasha. All right. If I think of some other Star Trek themed improv games we can do, I will bring those. But that'll do us for this week. Thank you all for joining us. If you would be so inclined as to write a review, give us 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you use, that would be much appreciated. We're still trying to get the word out. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies, tell your 3rd grade teacher, whatever Venn diagram intersections those all groups include. We would be very, very, very grateful to you. Other than that, we will catch you all next week. See you later, everybody.
Bye-bye.